Let's face it, there's more to talk about in the NFT space than there is time. And while our Thursday show is reserved for interviews with cool NFT projects, we're also having opportunities to interview cultural icons who are now playing a role in this space. Today's no exception, as we've got to have a chat with Frank Miller, the legendary graphic novelist and film director. If you've ever seen a Dark Knight graphic novel or are familiar with the Sin City series, you're on the right track. And as always, we've got news aplenty, but we won't keep you too long because you've got NFTs to ape into. So come along on a legendary journey with a legendary graphic novelist on episode number 94 of the Nifty.Show.
Looking into the future, what do we see? It's lined with digital collectibles, we call them NFTs. Games, trading cards, digital art, and those crypto kitties. Travis and Joel are the hosts, you'll know. Travis and Joel say this won't blow. They're locked and loaded, so ready, set, go. It's the Nifty, really kind of spiffy. The Nifty.Show.
What's happening, people in the Nifty universe? I just wrote a song.
That's a really good song. You're the best song
along.
singer. Let's make it an NFT.
Just lost a listener right there. You're like, oh my gosh, we have got better things to do. That's fine. Welcome to those of you who are fans of our silliness and ridiculousness as we go down the NFT rabbit hole. I think we've earned the cred to be as ridiculous as we want, because after all, we have minted over 1 million NFTs. I tell people that they're like, what? That's crazy. What? Million. How many people do you think in the world can say they've minted over 1 million NFTs? I would say it's a very small club.
I would say it's probably only collections on wax that have done more than one series, maybe multiple series. So probably Cogs, Alien Worlds, us, Tops.
I don't know if they've done, maybe I don't know. I don't think they've done 1 million.
Well, with their baseball card collection and
with the baseball cards too.
The baseball cards, maybe.
Okay,
so maybe it's like maybe a handful, 5 of them. I bet there hasn't been too many that have minted on Ethereum 1 million, because the gas fees on that alone would cost you several million.
Yeah, it would do you in right there. Well, as I said in the introduction, we usually do our interviews on Thursdays, but when you have the opportunity to interview a cultural icon, you say yes. And so we said yes to having Frank Miller on the show, because Frank and the Sin City collection have partnered with Gala Games to do an NFT release. And I'm kind of doing the thing where I'm telling you what I'm going to tell you. And now we're going to actually tell you in this interview with Frank. When we talk about the graphic novel arena, there are just a handful of names. Really, you'd have to have a hand with just a few fingers on it to name those that are the absolute legends of the space. And one of those names is Frank Miller. Frank, of course, has been doing graphic novels since pretty much the beginning of graphic novels, because we used to call them comic books before then. But something happened in the evolution of comics that took us to the next level, where these true works of art and deep, rich stories became a genre of their own. And of course, Frank is known for the Sin City graphic novel, among one of the many other things that he's done. And we're coming up on the 30th anniversary of the graphic novel that, of course, has been made into a hit motion picture with Bruce Willis, and then a sequel motion picture. I'm going to stop talking because he's here with us now. Frank, welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Yeah. When did we stop going from these are comics to graphic novels?
It was the day that Will Eisner decided to start calling us that.
Yeah. What like
when he
timestamp
published
that?
A contract with God. And when he published a contract with God, and it was it was in the 1970s sometime. And he called it a graphic novel, which is kind of ironic because it was a collection of short stories. But still, he coined the term, and it's been the one we used ever since.
It was a novel idea.
But it's a very novel idea, and I love how you described this. Like when you started on Sin City, you said you found that American and English comics were just too wordy, and too constipated, and Japanese comics seem to be too empty. And so you sort of merged film noir and manga into your creations, creating this hybrid. So
that sums it up pretty well. Yeah.
Yeah, very nice. And so what were some of your earliest influences? I remember reading about that when you were young, you wrote into Marvel Comics and was interested in doing that. But what were some of your very first, inspirations?
I think the earliest inspirations I remember having were from like Superboy and the Legion of Superheroes, with that wonderful, Kurt Swan artwork. And they were my pals when I was growing up. And an awful lot of them, by the way, were written by a guy who was scarcely older than me, which is Jim Shooter. He was writing them when he was 13 years old.
Wow.
And I was probably about 5 when I was reading them. But as time went by, the biggest influence for a huge amount of my career was, and he remains, is Jack Kirby, who I think is really the one of the very few absolute cornerstones of American comics.
For those who don't know, what would Jack be known for?
The entire Marvel universe, among other things. Everything except Spider-Man, he pretty much, he made up with Stan Lee. Thor, the Fantastic Four, the Hulk, all that stuff. And then he went on after that to work over at DC Comics and create what I think was his masterpiece, which was The New Gods. Which was an epic, a very influential piece of work.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
You can see its influence throughout cinema, throughout all kinds of fiction, because it in itself drew so much from Norse mythology and the Hebrew Bible to forge his own kind of superhero mythology that you can see it. You can see how it had an unquestionable influence on George Lucas in Star Wars, for instance. But it's all fair game. That's how these things work. We all build upon what came before.
Sure.
But I'd say I started finding my own real voice when I stumbled across Will Eisner's work, and I realized where comics. He showed me such a dimension to where comics could go. Since then, I've followed everybody. I mean, I remember a time when I would just devour Gil Kane's work. Then came a time when I started having mentors, and the first and most important mentor I had was Neil Adams, which wouldn't leap to mind when you look at my stuff, but he taught me a great deal about becoming a professional and about drawing and about all manner of things that don't show as visibly in my work itself.
Well, and storytelling, right, is a big part of it. So I would imagine, how many times have you seen Casablanca, right, in order to be inspired to create this dark noir type of treatments that you've done?
Yeah. Absolutely.
There was a dame, and she walked into the room, and she said, "I'm a dame in the room."
Yeah, something like that.
And I want to say this. I want to say thank you for creating Sin City, because without that, we wouldn't have Jessica Alba dancing in that one scene. And that is one of the very best things in cinema that I've ever seen.
I can't take any credit for Jessica.
That's okay. You can take the story credit. We're good with that. And it's been, if you can, I know it's really hard to believe, but 30 years since you first released Sin City. And time goes by so fast. Is this mind boggling to you that it's been that long?
Yeah.
And then the movie, what was 15, 16 years ago. And, and then of course you did 300 also, which is its own unique style. And that, I think that's what's really interesting, is the mark that you've left on the space is very distinct, very unique. And people look at it and go, that's got to be Frank Miller, because nobody else does like that.
Well, I think jumping back again to referencing Neil Adams here, it's like he once said that style was the sum of your mistakes, which I immediately got into an argument with him about, but that's what he and I did a lot, is argue.
Did you ever come to fists though? That's what I want to know. Did you ever have to pull a daredevil move on him?
No,
of course not.
Now, for those who maybe are tuning in who aren't familiar with some of the legends in the comic book universe, like he just dropped a bunch of knowledge right here. Jack Kirby, who was known as the King, right, of some of these comics. Will Eisner and Neil Adams, like these are some amazing folks. And here we are with Frank Miller, one of the most iconic visionaries when it comes to creating these stories. And I'm curious about maybe even the storytelling itself. Like, where does that come from? Because your stories are very comprehensive. They have this tone to them. Like, where are you pulling from when you're creating some of this stuff?
It's a combination, really. You're using you have to use every side of your brain. I mean, a certain amount of it is logical. How do I get this information across so people can follow it? Because you've got to be clear more than anything else. And then it's just picking out what really needs to be emphasized, and then how to make it as dramatic as possible, and also how to make it look good, so that people have a reason so that people want to look at it. And so it's that one little question you asked. You might as well have asked me, Frank, would you please describe your entire craft?
Right. Well, I mean, it's interesting because you're creating the story and you're penciling and inking and publishing it, and so that's like you're doing the full smorgasbord.
Yeah. There's a bunch of things I'm not doing. I am not coloring it. If it's a color book, I am not selling it. I'm not printing it. I'm not publishing it. I mean, there are a lot of hands in this, even if it's a one-man job on the other way.
I remember very well when The Dark Knight Returns came out, and it's like this was a whole new approach to Batman. And of course, it was these gritty books, which I own the whole 4 in the series, that really inspired the next generation of Batman films. We finally got gritty, more realistic human Batman films, rather than these heroes being this otherworldly thing that don't deal with the things that we mere mortals deal with. All of a sudden, these are people that have these extraordinary powers, but they deal with the same emotional type of struggles that we regular people deal with. Not so much a question as a statement. You just say, So here we are, Sin City 30th anniversary. And what do you think of this NFT space? Because we're going to be seeing Gala Games along with Concept Art House releasing Sin City limited edition NFTs. Yeah,
it looks like there's going to be 11 of them. And I think that these NFTs it just adds a whole new dimension to this stuff, and it just widens the whole playground. This is getting more fun than ever.
So what are these NFTs going to be like, Frank? Are these are they panels, or what can we expect to see? Because on the website, frankmiller.io is the official site for you guys to go check out. We don't really see what they are yet.
Yeah, Marv is lurching toward you in all his glory, meaning no good. And but he's made wonderfully of crystal. So it's sort of like this is not a breakfast at Tiffany's you're going to want to have.
This is going to be intense. This is a laser engraving of Marv. That's a real crystal piece. Is that correct?
Yep.
Awesome. The limited series includes 11 pieces that will be, some are going to be sold as open editions with no cap. There'll be a price for them. They'll be available for a certain window. And then there's others that are going to be a one of one that are going to be up for auction. So I think that, this, what's really important about
let me
this,
interrupt you for a second.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is that when you said this intent, that intense is the name of the game here.
Right. Everything about Sin City is intensity.
Yeah.
Do we have a date on this launch as of yet, when these are going to be available?
Yes, we do. It's the 29th.
So September 29th at frankmiller.io is where you guys can go check these out. I love it because, people have appreciated your art for decades now, and this is an opportunity to own a piece of graphic novel and film history, really, because the Sin City story continues against both mediums.
You get a piece of Basin City over there, huh?
So here's an unrelated question, Frank, just for your own personal opinion. You hear people talk about desert island movies. You're trapped on a desert island and you've only got one film. So in your case, I'm going to say your desert island comic book. You're on a desert island. You only got one book or one graphic novel. It can't be your own. What would it be? Tough question.
It can't be my own.
It can't be your own. Can't be your own. It's got to be somebody else's, something that inspired you, that you're like, all right, if I got to read one book again and again until I get rescued, this is going to be the one.
Oh, you mean I bring one with me?
Yeah, you're.
That's what you're saying.
Yeah, whether you've brought it.
Oh, okay. Not what I do, but what I bring with me.
Sure. Maybe a bottle, floated up and there was a graphic novel in a bottle while you're there on that desert island. And
he probably had to have a notebook and a pen and write his own while he was there. He's like, I'm just going to create brand new shit.
This is turning into an old police song.
Message in a bottle. Yeah, I got it. I made the connection, but I want to know the answer. What's it going to be, Frank?
I'm working.
Is it going to be a Jack Kirby special? Is it going to be Will Eisner graphic novel or comic? Is it going to be Neil Adams? Maybe is it going to be Stan Lee? What do you think? Maybe you mentioned New Gods is something that you liked earlier. Is that maybe one you'd bring?
No, it would be Eisner. It'd be Eisner. It's just I got a whole bookshelf of Eisner to pick from. So.
It's hard to choose.
I'll give you author. I won't give you title. I'll say Eisner.
Well, let me ask you this then. What have you imagine being a big fan? You said you got books and books. Like, what is your most prized comic book that you have from that you've collected in your life so far? You got like a Superman 1 or something over there?
No, I don't. I'm not that kind of a collector. No, I got a library, not a collection. But it's actually, you know what I do? I think what I take with me is like the most beautiful Jean Chiraud album that he did with, who's the writer? And I learned French and read it. That would keep me busy for a good long time.
Très bien, monsieur. Very nice. Say. Well, Frank, we really appreciate you.
Better yet, you know what I do? Better yet.
Okay, here
I
comes.
take Hugo Pratt and learn Italian.
I don't know any Italian. I know pizza, spaghetti, mastaccioli.
You said Hugo.
You know
Pratt?
Hugo Pratt?
No.
Hugo Pratt.
Pratt.
Hugo Pratt.
You just intentionally mispronounced the name of one of the supreme black and white artists. No, in fact, color as well. Comic book artist globally. He created a series called Corto Maltese.
Corto Maltese.
One of the most productive artists we ever saw. I mean, boy, I've got 2 shelves of him.
Oh
yeah,
wow, I can see that style and how that would have inspired you. It's a pretty cool style he's got.
Yeah.
Hugo Pratt, he is inducted into the Will Eisner Hall of Fame. Pretty cool. Hey, Frank, we really appreciate you coming on and sharing with us.
Sure.
And I think that this Sin City commemorative limited edition NFT set is going to do really well. There is no better set of enthusiasts in the NFT space than those who appreciate, classic graphic novels. So this is really a great partnership, and we wish you the best with it. And whatever it is that you're working on next, good sir.
Okay, great. Thanks an awful lot, man.
And now is where we tell you what we told you. That was Frank Miller. And interesting character, just these icons that are coming into the space now and recognizing the value of NFTs, being, somebody whose talent is in graphics. He gets it immediately. It's like, oh yeah, of course. Why wouldn't we find this new channel for distribution of content?
Yeah, and I like that it's such a visual medium, and he decided to call us in on his phone.
Yeah.
So there was no video of him. There was no great audio of him. Just, you get it over the phone.
Yeah, well, we don't know if it was actually.
And it's like, hey, you know what? If Frank Miller wants to call you on the phone, you take that phone call and you record it and you make a podcast out of it.
You say yes. I mean, why wouldn't you? So let's go ahead and jump into our news segment here today as we look at the NFT market cap on CoinGecko. The top coins, the usual suspects, even though everything is down this week. Well, most things are down. Theta, Axie, Chili's, Engine, really the only one that's up for the week and up significantly, up 54% is Ecomi. The OMI tokens back to almost half, more than half a penny, 0.0058 right now. Flows down.
We got up to 6.2 cents or 6.2 tenths.
Well, the big winner for the week, Travis, is Gala.
Yes.
And I don't know exactly what prompted it other than listings, right? Because they're on Binance. Actually, I do know what prompted it. They're on Binance, and it's at 10 cents right now, up over 117% this week. Not bad.
Yeah, and the thing is on that is that they did mention that they're launching some additional NFTs. They've launched some additional games. They're doing something with Frank Miller. They got listed on Binance. I mean, that's a whole lot of stuff that's going on all at once. And I think that was probably the reason why that it popped so nicely. But yeah, and then also Ecomi right now, what 5.8, a little over 0.5 of a penny, as you mentioned, 50-something%. Now they got some stuff going on with Marvel, and it's actually down a little bit from its all-time high. It got up to, what did it get up to this week? It looks like it got up to maybe 0.0, almost 0.07. I think it got pretty
0.007.
0.007.
Yeah. If it goes to 0.07,
0.0135. So about halfway to that.
Yeah, if it goes to 0.07, I'm buying another house.
Yeah, it goes to 0.07. That would be a very good.
That would be amazing. So some good things happening in the NFT space here. This article on Decrypt: Ethereum NFT sales yield over $650,000 for journalistic causes. Fortune magazine and artist people pleaser donate half of the funds raised by last month's NFT magazine cover auctions, what are the journalistic causes that they're donating to? I'm wondering, because that's Reporters Without Borders. Oh, I like how that sounds. The Ground Truth Project, the Institute for Nonprofit News, and the Committee to Protect Journalists got monies.
I would like to donate to the committee to have real news. Like if you're a journalist and you willingly promote fake news, then you should almost somehow get, barred from being like an official journal. You can still have a blog or whatever, but it's like, nope, you've been denounced as being a fake news person. Like, it's like, that's got to happen eventually, right? Where people are like, hey, wait a second, you're consistently, pleasing the global masters and not people, pleasing the people with the real truth. So I don't know. I think this is cool. I love real journalism. I have been a journalist for many different eras in my life. I started out as a journalist. I was the sports editor of my newspaper in high school for 2 years, Joel.
Do you know, I have never considered myself a journalist, even though I've written for numerous publications. I'm a content creator.
Content creator is really what it is. And for a while though, like when I was working with Technorati and VentureBeat, I would say I was more on the journalist tip of things. But content creation is seriously, it's in our blood, brother, man.
That's all we can do is like, we're content beasts. So this is really interesting to me, Travis. There is a Twitter account out there called Cosimo Medici, and this account tweets NFTs all the time, always is tweeting about crypto. And this week, Snoop Dogg doxed himself and said that this is his account, that he's the guy who's been tweeting on Cosimo de Medici. And he told people he would dox himself, and then he did. I am Cosimo Medici. He's no hiding anymore.
He's not hiding anymore. So with the fact that Snoop Dogg's coming out as being the head of, being a big fan of NFTs, Cosimo Medici, it's kind of relevant for this week, because you mentioned to me, you came over this weekend. You said, man, for the first time, I finally saw the movie Straight Outta Compton. And I said, oh, I hadn't actually watched the movie, but I used to love listening to NWA whenever I was young. I think the rap was just so hard. It was just hilarious to me as like a 16, 17-year-old kid at that time. And you watched that, and we were talking about that. Well, here's what I realized. And so if you've watched the movie, you know anything about NWA, is that, it was, Eazy-E, and then you had Dr. Dre and Ice Cube, and then you had MC Ren, and then you had DJ Yella. Those were the five on the group. But then Eazy-E was working with Jerry Heller, making all the money, and then Ice Cube bailed.
He was making hella money.
And then Ice Cube bailed because he didn't like the contract deal. And then Dre left. And then, so they were both mad at Eazy-E, talking shit on Eazy-E. And I think if that had not happened, Snoop Dogg would not have ended up being relevant. Because Dr. Dre then hooked up with Snoop Dogg, and then they released The Chronic, and they just go balls deep on Eazy-E. Like, they go, if you go back and listen to the album The Chronic after you watch Straight Outta Compton and get yourself up to speed with what happened on all that, they go off on Eazy-E, right? And it ends up making Snoop Dogg famous for the most part, right? So I was like, I was watching that. I go, you know what? Wow. I think without Eazy-E and their manager screwing them over, and if they stayed as NWA, Snoop Dogg might not have become as famous as he is.
It's really interesting to see how one thing, the butterfly effect, right? How one thing leads to another. To quote the Fix song from the
dude, I'd love to have Snoop Dogg on the Nifty.Show.
Yeah, well, there's no telling. I mean, dude, in the last couple weeks, we've interviewed David Koechner of The Office and Anchorman, Ja Rule, and now Frank Miller. Like, there's no telling who we're going to get to speak, which is why
Kevin
you guys
Smith on earlier.
Oh yeah, we had Kevin Smith.
I mean, like, come on, this is like, we're having some awesome people on the show. Snoop Dogg de Medici. We're sending a shout out to you, my dude.
Come on the show. Let's talk Nifties. So news from OpenSea this week. They've got a smartphone app, and I downloaded it, and it works pretty good. But what it doesn't do is, how you can sort on the desktop by the latest NFTs you've received. You can't do that in this app. There's no sorting. So I'm looking, I'm like, all right, I got too many NFTs and it's showing me stuff from, a year ago. Now, how do I know what I just got? How do I know what somebody just sent me or what I just bought? And
The new OpenSea app doesn't work very well.
it doesn't have that sorting by the most recent ones that you've
Why
received.
the hell would you not have sorting in an app? Like that's like one of the things
Yeah.
you need most, like filtering and sorting.
So hopefully they will soon. Anyway, it's on iOS and Android. You can go download it.
But it's big news. I mean, it's big news for NFTs, I think, to be able to view your NFT collections. OpenSea is one of the largest platforms, and Apple did not cock block them. So that was nice.
Yet. There's still time for cock blockery to take place. So we're big fans of NFTs that are tied to physical goods, and there is an NFT project launching called Vault of Gems, and they claim it's the first NFT project to be pegged to a hard asset. It's not, because we have, I mean, depending what you call a hard asset, is that a very specific term? A hard asset has got to be like a precious metal or something, because many have pegged NFTs to physical goods, including us.
Yeah, my dad was kind of a hard ass hat.
So the Vault of Gems is a set of 5 gems: gold, emerald, ruby, sapphire, and diamond, that are pegged to real life gems, and the variables in the NFTs are like quantity, rarity, scarcity of the gems in the real world. So 12,345 gems are going to be offered in this, and I guess you'll get to get your physical gem, swapping your NFT out.
Well, I'd like to get a Jimi Hendrix, or maybe another Jim. Maybe the Jim Carrey. Is those famous ones? Jimmy. That was actually a nice little subtle shout out to Jimmy. I like how they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 NFTs. Like that's a fun number. That I think we even talked about, even like we should do, instead of 10,000, we should do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we didn't. But
I'd rather do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, we could. Yeah, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That'd be a hell of a lot more NFTs.
Dude, Splinterlands is killing it now. In this article on Crypto Potato, they are the most frequently played blockchain game. Which what I really like about Splinterlands is they didn't go, all right, we're going to make NFTs and then we're going to put them in a game. No, they built a game, and now NFTs are part of it. They have surpassed 260,000 daily active users. That they're
daily active.
Yeah.
Like that's a lot. And this says that's greater than Alien Worlds Metaverse, which is just shy of 250,000 daily. But I have a question. So it says Splinterlands is now the most frequently played blockchain game. Is that a misnomer? What about Axie Infinity? Because it seems like it's maybe the most frequently played blockchain card game.
Well, I don't know the answer to that. It could be that the daily active user number is higher. There could be more people in the Axie universe, but something that would make sense here is that in order for users to power their own cards and earn in-game rewards, you have to own a Splinterlands Summoner Spellbook upgrade. And apparently 50% of the users are buying this upgrade. So that is some serious engagement.
But holy shit, dude, look at this though. Remember when we were talking and they said it took us 3 years to get to 100,000 registered users.
Right.
And then in 6 weeks, they gained another 100,000. And then we saw again, like a week after that, they were at 300,000. Now they have a community of 800,000 registered accounts and 400,000 spellbook owners. Like the growth of that has been phenomenal. And the price of the SPS token got up to at one point over $1, like $1.25, $1.40, something like that. Yeah. Now it's sitting at like 20 something cents. And they're having this kind of growth. Like the total market cap, I'm gonna look right now at Splinterlands.
I'm buckling into Splinterlands for the long haul. There's
total
no question.
Market cap right now it's loading right now. $55 million market cap, 25-cent tokens right now, folks, and $55 million market cap for the biggest blockchain game. that might be one of the things where you go, huh? And you do some more research on that, because that might be an opportunity smacking you upside the face.
It might be indeed. Go do your own research. Do some research, figure it out for yourself, because we always encourage you to go do your own research, my friends.
Yes.
So funny story. There's the guys at Dust Miners. Just they made a custom dust miner for Ja Rule. So he gave us his cell phone, and I texted him, and I told him I've got some goodies for him. And he's like, yo, what's good? I'm doing an interview right now. I'm freaking texting with Ja Rule. I mean, like, what kind of universe is this that we're
homies now? It's all good. We're the Nifty brothers.
Oh my gosh, it's so bizarre. So So Rare is killing it. You know, they've been on top for some time. They just raised another $680 million, valued at $4.3 billion. Of course, this is fantasy sports on Ethereum blockchain, really focused on soccer, but they are now expanding into other sports. And so they've got the money to do it. I mean, you know, what do you do with $680 million? Dude, you make some NFTs. That's what you do.
Yeah, so I would imagine, you know, they're the soccer game, and they're big on soccer, NFT, fantasy soccer over there. But I think they got to be diving into these other sports. So that's where I think that the big opportunity is. It's like they need to get into basketball somehow, get into, you know, the American NFL football. Did you know this? Like, if you're talking to somebody over in Europe and you send them the American football emoji, they see a soccer ball.
Huh.
Because I was talking to friends, like, hey, I'm watching football right now. And they're like, wait, what? You're watching soccer? I'm like, no, I posted the American football, and I guess it translates over to the soccer ball. Anyway, here's some other interesting stuff. So we chatted, you know, back in May with Gary V, and Gary V had mentioned that he was launching his NFTs on Christie's and some of his original stuff. So that's going to be popping up. But there's some other stuff that's going on in Christie's right now. Seems like Sotheby's and Christie's, like, they're all diving in to some of these NFT stuff, and they're auctioning some rare NFTs, and they're auctioning looks like what, some Curio cards?
There's going to be oxygen.
Yeah, they're going to have oxygen there for the people.
They already sell oxygen, right? You can go to an oxygen bar and, like, hey,
so
have you guys
they're going to auction
like,
off some oxygen.
It's free, like, everywhere.
He's got to do deep breathing. Yeah. So what are they? They're going to be oxygening off some things.
Very good. Yep. You know,
my Curio cards, bro. These are part of the My Curio cards collection that came out way back in the day. There's a complete set of 30 Curio cards, the rare edition, known as 17B. There's going to be 31 of these NFTs that are up for sale, and I would suspect this to trigger the price of those original Curio cards to go pop, pop, boom.
I hope so. I bought a couple of them. I would like to see them. And I remember when I bought them, I remember thinking, you know, I could buy more of these, but, you know, it's always, you know, do I, don't I, do I, don't I? And I bought two, and I'm not unhappy that I bought two. These look interesting.
I'm not unhappy that I was like, oh shit, did I not buy one? I thought I bought one. I did.
There you go. So Super Rare has a new NFT coming out with the Mercury Phoenix Trust. This is a nonprofit set up to fight AIDS worldwide. Mercury comes from, of course, Freddie Mercury, the late frontman for the legendary band Queen, which I've been going through the Queen discography again. Oh my gosh. Especially A Night at the Opera is one of the most creative, incredible rock albums ever produced. Like, from beginning to end, it is this variety of styles that is unmistakable, with Freddie's voice layered upon layered upon layered. The last song on it, well, the last long track is Bohemian Rhapsody. I mean, it wraps it up, but the rest of the album is so freaking amazing. Like, every rock and roll fan should own it. Anyway, NFTs that are being auctioned right now on Super Rare. superrare.com/Freddie Mercury. You're not too late. And I was wondering, like, are they going to be crap? Are they going to be cool? They're cool.
It couldn't be crap. I love it. Here's this quote. He left a simple creative brief to the world whenever he passed away. He said, "You can do whatever you want with my work. Just never make me boring."
Huh. Look at this one here by Blake Catherine called Sanctuary. This thing is absolutely amazing. And it just dawned on me now that I've not been sharing my screen while we're doing this visual show. So you guys can go check the show notes if you want to see the stories that we've referenced and haven't shown you pretty pictures at Nifty.Show /94.
Wow, that's beautiful.
This is one of the 4. And right now, with 2 days, 3 hours, 8 minutes, and 16 seconds left, the current high bid is 2 ETH. I'm going to guess that this is going to go for 15 to 20 ETH. I think that is absolutely beautiful. This is gorgeous. Let's look at the other ones here on this collection. So this one here is called, it's by Chad Knight. It's called Celebration of Uniquity. And this one is not animated. He's like on a beach as a statue or something here. That to me has kind of a Michael Jackson vibe to it. Because like whenever he was doing that one, that did. Oh, look at that one right there. This one looks cool. I'm Freddie. MBSJQ, the colorful soul. Wow. How many? Whoa. How much is that going for? Gorgeous. Right now, starting price 2 ETH. I don't know that people have really bid like a lot of views on it, but this is kind of weird though that Freddie Mercury is the owner. I'm like, no, he's not. The Freddie Mercury estate. Yeah. I suppose so. That's cool. That's freaking beautiful. You buy that for 2 ETH. If that ends up happening for 2 ETH, like what? How is this not? How are more people? Like it's just crazy. 1,092 views and how many bids? One bid. That one that's so colorful and beautiful has 0 bids. I'm gonna go bid on it. Go get it. I'm gonna bid on that shit. This one right here, the colorful one. That one. Nice. You would be the champion if you got this one, Sir Lord. Well, I want to break free. One of the things I've been talking about. The champions. You know what's so great? There's this fun app that we found. It's called Reface. Yeah. And basically you pull in a photo and then it finds the faces and then it uses AI to recreate the songs and stuff. So I had this photo of me, which I think is, I thought was pretty funny, and people on my Instagram and stuff, they liked it. So I took an old photo of me and my family where I'm sitting on the couch with my stepdad's sitting on my right, my mom's sitting on my left, I'm sitting in the middle. And then I got like my brother who's like probably 2 or 3 months old at the time. And then my sister who's like 16 months old or something at the time. And I'm singing, I want to break free. Yeah, it is great. Travis discovered this and I've made a number. Reface is the name of the app. It's available on iOS and Android. I would play one of them, but we would we'd get a strike on YouTube because it's got commercial music in it. So, but worth checking out. It's pretty funny. Also worth checking out, both for the stories and the uniqueness, are 3 projects that have sent us NFTs this week. You know, they write us. I get every day my Twitter fills up, and Travis gets responses to his Twitter. People want to drop us NFTs, and sometimes we will talk about them on the show. And this one I want to talk about because Solana is really becoming a thing for NFTs. The space is really starting to blow up. I thought that these were cool. Soul Chicks, soulchicks.io, breed soul chicks, unlock rare traits, and there's going to be a game to go with these. But they had some controversy with their set. Apparently, the owners of the series, they had thousands, like over 10,000 people in the Discord. And then the sale went off, and the sales were much slower than you would have expected with that many people. Well, people were not happy. They started accusing the owners of buying bots for Discord. And I think, I haven't seen it myself. I was told that they confessed that that's what they did. And so they ended minting of these. There was going to be 10,000. I think there's only around 2,700 right now. And I really like the artwork on them. And I think the price on the secondary market is going up. And I messaged you yesterday, Trav, to tell you that I discovered a new Solana marketplace called Magic Eden .io. This is like an OpenSea of Solana. And so this is where you can find soul chicks. Soul chicks.
I'm a soul chick. Look at that one with the big old afro. That's nice. She's a soul chick.
I think they're funny. I just like them. I
love the blue glasses. Now, is it the same like with OpenSea where I can click on it and say, oh, I love the blue glasses? Like, for example, go up, click on that one right there with the blue glasses.
This guy. Oh yeah, that's like you like wearing blue glasses.
I wear blue glasses.
Yeah,
so I
right
click
here.
on the attributes and I say, oh, there's some blue glasses. Oh, there's regular glasses. Can I click on that and then find other ones? Because that's what I like to do.
I can't click on I can't click on this. I wonder if I have to log in to my wallet in order to do this. Connect.
What's the 365 marketplace? What does that mean?
That's number 365.
Number 365 of the
chick. So you can't do that. Like I'm clicking on attributes, it doesn't do that. You can buy it now. If you go to details, it shows you a little bit more about it. So
that's what I love. I love to be able to go. Like I found one with the Al Capones, and it was wearing a Yankees hat, and I was like, oh, cool. I want to find all the ones that are for sale that are wearing Yankees hats. And that's how I'll go and find the ones that I like. Typically, is I'll go in and sort via those attributes. But you actually had purchased a few of these, and then I didn't see them whenever they were going on. So you sold me some of the ones you had.
Yeah. So nice. you've got some soul chicks, and there's
these burger ones, these fast food ones.
Yeah. Fast food SMB. We're just poking around here. I do have a couple more I want to talk to. Monkey business fast food meme.
Those look like they all work at McDonald's.
Right. They're getting paid minimum wage. Now, there are some projects out there that are hitting, and they're not buying bots, but they're also not building community beforehand. And, I watch Rarity Tools for what's coming up next. And I also watch Nifty.Show for what's coming up next. And I spotted this one, and I really like the art. That's it. You
just like that the chin looks like the ball sacks. Especially the hairy one right there. Looks like a big old ball sack on his chin.
That is definitely not true. That I did not see that until you pointed that out. So honestly, if you
how can you not see it? It's a big old ball sack right there.
Because chickens have that. They have that.
Oh, I know. But it still looks like a ball sack. And I know whenever they were making it, they were like, this looks like a ball sack.
Now, if you get one that's totally bald,
it's a well manicured ball sack.
Yeah. Well,
these are funny. These are Crypto Chicken Clubhouse.
I just like the art. I don't think that they've sold, overwhelmingly well, but they've got a little community. You can adopt a chicken here. I don't think that they're a lot to get one. Let's see how much they are now, because I've already minted some. That's with gas 0.08. So they're 0.07 for one of these, and there is a community, and there is a roadmap, and their charitable donation is to help protect chickens around the world. Okay, maybe we can get a little bit more creative with the roadmaps. In fact, I was having this discussion with our buddy John Lee Dumas yesterday that it's time for these 25, 50, 75% roadmaps to just go away, because if those are short term, and they're predicated on this idea that, hey, we're not going to sell out. We're just going to, do a portion of it. And I'm like, no, our roadmap is, here's the things that we're going to create regardless of how many we sell. And we're planning on selling them all out. Otherwise, why are we creating that many, right? Why create 10,000 if you're hesitant about selling 10,000? Just do it. And here's all of the things that they're going to do, which is why I love that Gary V is doing a 40-year roadmap for V Friends.
Yeah. And our friends at bandroyalty.com, if you want to pull that up, they're doing an 8-year roadmap, right? So that just shows long-term proactive thinking on these projects. And so that's what we love. And we love the fact that, they're not just saying, hey, we're in it for the quick dollars, and then we're going to hit it and quit it and go. Nope. We're in it for the long haul, and I love that. I think that that's what really needs to happen, is they need to be in the long haul. Tell us what you're going to do down the road. Like, does it have utility? Can it do stuff? Can it unlock things? It's going to unlock experiences. Like the V Friends project unlocks real world experiences and get you gifts and stuff sent your way. So It's pretty cool.
Yeah, here's bandroyalty.com. And, we had these guys on the show. It was purely NFTs before that you would stake in order to get a piece of royalties. But they encountered some issues with OpenSea that said, well, this could be a security. And so they've retooled, even though they've already sold a bunch, like they've sold the 3 biggest ones, which I don't know, was like a total of 50 ETH or something for them. And they've retooled it to now have a token, and they're doing a token sale. And so if you want to do some of your own due diligence on this, we are involved as advisors. We love the project, and we do have a stake in it. And I like stake, and I like having
and
stake.
they have a token sale going on right now.
Yep.
And I believe this week they are 8 cents a token or something.
Yep.
And they going up each week. So, if this is interesting, you do your own research on it, take a look at it, and do what you do.
bandroyalty.com. Finally, there's one other project that dropped us some NFTs. They're kind of like the one we saw in Solana, and these are OpenSea, and I kind of like them a little bit better. The Fast Food Friends collection. They sold out 5,600 fast food friends, and they're
Like
burger.
little Pepe's.
Yeah, they're burger flipping Pepe's basically. That's
Okay.
That's what they do right here. You can get one off the floor for 0.0135 ETH, which right now, I mean, ETH is like $3,000 now because the market is going wah, 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 wah. So that's about $40. I just think they're cute. I like them. And apparently they have a solid Discord and community. So you can get the link to this in the show notes, or you could just go Fast Food Friends Collection, FRENS, because we don't spell anything properly anymore. We make up new words.
Well, people know what friends are. We're friends.
We were wordifying before anybody else was wordifying, though, Trev. I mean, I've been in the process of wordification my whole life, and now it's like they make up these words for things.
That's okay, Joel.
The original wordifier.
You are a wordifier. Now, have you looked at rarity.tools, some of the upcoming ones? Have you seen any ones that you like the most, or any of them that are tickling your fancy?
Well, I'll tell you, I'm really happy I got my broadcasters yesterday. That one excites me. And I know that the guys we had on the show last Thursday from Eternal Royals, they're coming up with theirs.
When does that go on sale? I need to see that because I
think it's the end of the month. Here's what I've noticed though. Okay. And I'm going to go to my Twitter for this because I did a little investigation, a little research on the NFT generative space. And because there are so many projects now, let me see if I can find this. Here we go. This is what I looked up. Like these had all launched in the previous 24 hours, and the numbers of what was sold or what was not sold tells me that we're at a current saturation of projects, of quality projects, and we need more buyers. Right. I'm not saying these projects aren't quality. In fact, I bought a multi NFT membership. I like NFTs that give me access to other things, but they didn't sell nearly as many as they had hoped to. At this point, the numbers could be significantly higher now. I don't know. But, Master Cucumbers, only 83 were sold of 88. Ape Ships only, I love it. Go Ape Ship. Only 72 of 9999 were sold. So if we look here like this, I just loaded this. All right, look what was yesterday. Crazy Cousins, Pixel Emojis, Crypto Hobos, Crypto Art Fusion, Mighty Axolotls, Hive Mind, Rue Crew, Metaverse Marauders. These are just the ones on Rarity Tools all yesterday. You can't possibly buy in to all of these. Now this one looks cute. All right, I'm just going to say right now, and apparently it says they launched minting now. Let's see, 8,888 Trauma Llama Ding Dong. I'm going to go ahead and connect. All right, look at this right here. I said these are cute, right? Only 354 of 8,888. The doors have been open 12 minutes. And it seems like if you don't nail this thing out of the box, it is an uphill battle to win now, even though I think these are cool. Look at these guys, Trauma Llamas.
Llamas are fun, but we did mention this, that there was going to be such a deluge of oncoming and upcoming projects that are doing generative stuff, just because, you know, it's just like, hey, this has worked well. Me too. I'm going to go ahead and check them out. And yeah, I think that that's probably, we're going to see more and more of this stuff failing. Just because there's so many projects and there's not as many people popping in, especially when they're going for 0.05 ETH or 0.08 ETH. Now I just claimed,
look at this.
I just claimed my broadcasters as well, Joel.
Look at this. This is pre-sale only. It hasn't even opened up to the public yet. That is a good sign to me, right? When you sell out 2,000.
Well, you just reminded me to get mine because I bought one. I got one of those comic books,
right,
which enabled me to mint 3. So I went ahead and minted 3. Plus, we had the one claim that we were able to do. So I got 4 of these bad boys now.
She got tape over her nipples.
I don't know why that is.
Nipple tape.
Oh, you're not eligible because you've already claimed yours, right?
Yeah, I already got mine. So these are super cool. I already claimed mine. So I'm, you know, we had these guys on the show on Thursday last week. So if you haven't listened to that, check out Broadcasters. I just
want to say, make sure the that royalty one, Joel. If I'm like off in La La Land, let me know, as I got to put it on my calendar as well, because I want to make sure the Eternal Royals. That is one that I just love. I think it is such beautiful art. Pre-sale begins on Tuesday, the 28th. I need to make sure that I'm around for this.
Yeah, Jesse Johnson. So he runs the Discord called The Dope Art. I wrote him and I said,
how do you get whitelisted?
I can't remember, but we got time to figure it out. So I wrote him. I said, dude, I love your art. Can I make a recommendation? Because his Discord was called The Dope Art. I said, rename it to Eternal Royals. And he's like, I did. Done. So like smart, pivoting, being agile. And, you know, for those who missed this interview with the creators of these, go check it out. We think that they're going to be super hot. There's so much happening. Just be, you know, do your research and be smart with your money. Not all NFTs are going to moon. And Gary Vee said months ago that most projects are going to go to zero long term. You might have some, you know, pretty chickens or koalas or something, but buy art that you like. That is my recommendation. I'm not talking about to make money. I'm talking about buy NFTs that you want to own. And then you'll always be like, hey, it's not worth what I paid for it, but I like it. At least you'll like it.
That's what I end up tending. That's what I do. It's like, I'll go through there and be like, sometimes like, oh, these are on sale. I'm like, I don't like those. I'm not going to buy them. And then sometimes those are ones that take off too. And I'm like, oh, well, good job, Travis.
Oh, look at this one, Travis. Crypto chicks.
Nice.
10,000 girls. I'm down with this. I'd have a crypto chick. You know, we are
mint friend, count 11. Are they already on sale?
No, those are probably pre-mint for giveaways and team and stuff. Pre-sale starts and around the time the show comes out, the pre-sale starts. I don't know how to get into it, but I'm looking for the Discord. There's the Discord. So I might have to ape into the chicks. 1,625 members, not the best marketing going on, but you know,
we were talking about crypto chicks way back in the day, and we had the original crypto chicks on Bad Crypto. They were the Bad Crypto chicks.
Yeah, Rachel Wolfson was so I'm going to check this out a little further. Anyway, thanks everybody for watching or listening. Show notes at Nifty.Show /94.
And
Travis,
thank you, Frank Miller.
Last word.
Thank you, Frank Miller. I want to say thank you, Frank Miller.
Frank Miller.
Thank you for Gala Games for hooking that up. Thank you for Gala Games of mooning this week.
Yeah.
Thank you for Splinterlands for being awesome.
And thank you for keeping it nifty.